The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, is an inspirational hour that'll take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. Get ready to be transformed from Dr. Jen's live guided healing meditations and intuitive readings, and unveil the power of connecting to spirit, the angels, and your higher self. Dr. Jen is passionate about helping you find the answers you're looking for through an inward journey that'll strengthen your connection to spirit and help you trust your intuition. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jen Royster.
Hello everyone, I hope you can hear me. Please let me know if you can. We had a couple of interesting issues right at the beginning, so I think we're good to go. Welcome to the show. We are back from a holiday break last week, and it's good to be here with you guys. It's interesting what we have to talk about today. We have a full moon. It's a partial lunar eclipse coming on July 16. So I wanted to take today to talk a little bit about this one because it's probably one of the most transformative energies in alignment for the year. It's good. It doesn't mean, oh no, here we go again. Of course it feels like that. Our spiritual fitness, is what I call it, has been continually moving at a faster speed. It has been nonstop. And for some of us, we're like, are we ever going to get a break? Well, probably not, because it's time to just take it to the next level. We're right in the middle of the process of creating a brand new world, a brand new reality, and you decided to be here to do that. So we're all in what feels like a major spiritual fitness training. Yes, this full moon's going to take it up a notch for us. I want to talk about that, and I also want to tap in, ask for insights with the angels about how we can make the most of this, and this isn't a negative, and how we can anchor in to the positives. My co-host decided to show up today. You might hear her barking some. She's out there giving somebody a hard time. So I want everybody to know when we talk about this and what we're talking about with expansion, this is what we need to give us that nudge we need to really make this happen, okay? We just need to pay attention to that. So I really wanted to spend some time on this today. This is a Capricorn full moon, and Capricorn, gets serious. And remember, the Capricorn energy in celestial is represented by the goat. And remember, the goat will climb all the way to the top of the mountain without fear, with those tiny little hooves. And I love that analogy because it has the energy that fits this. You don't realize how strong you are. And the goat will just go right up the top of that mountain to the top peak with those. I have always been amazed how they can do that with those hooves. They're not worried about not reaching the top. They just know they will. They believe. And I want you to hear that part as we go through this today, because this is where we take it deeper. This is where we climb higher. This is where we soar. This is where you reach potentials you didn't know you had. This energy can help you. It will stretch us a bit. I call that our spiritual yoga, and I'll go into that because we have spiritual fitness, we have spiritual yoga. And I call it that because you know how that all those different poses are stretching, and you think about stretching with a physical workout. This full moon is kind of one of those stretching sessions to take it further, to push us beyond what we thought we could do. So what is that going to do? That's probably going to take you out of your comfort zone a little bit, but in a positive. You're going to go, wow, I would have never tried that. I would have never thought that I could have done that. There's my co-host. Have you guys heard her in a while? She's almost 10 years old. That's Emmy, for those that have been with the show for a very long time. She's all the way on the opposite side of the house, so you will hear her. It echoes all the way through. And anyway, she'll stop in a minute. I hope. Anyway, I want to welcome everyone to the show. I do hope you had a good holiday break. If you were here in the States, we were celebrating our 4th of July last week. And I want to welcome everyone that is in the live chat over on YouTube. Hello, it's great to see you guys. Hi, Kim. Hi, David. Kim, we haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Hi, David. Good to see you too. And David is saying hi to Emmy. And believe it or not, she'd probably know that. So she's one of the most intuitive animals I have ever had as a companion, as a pet. She's amazing. She's a lot more accurate at weather forecasts than any of the apps I've tried, let me tell you. I mean, we have blue skies and then there's lightning strikes, or we have blue skies and it's pouring down rain. So, and you look at the app, there's nothing, no predictions, no nothing, and then, but she knows. She knows, and she's very clear about telling me. So I've started listening to her, and she's amazing. No, she's not being bad. She's a really good girl. She's watching outside. Somebody's probably walking by that she doesn't approve of. She governs the entire neighborhood here. So, but I miss her. You know, she used to come into the show a lot, and we kind of coined her my co-host because she used to come in a whole lot. Now, then she started chilling out and she's like, that's good. So in a way, I kind of like it that she popped in today with that a little bit, because I miss her being in the recordings a little bit. So other than that, what we have is this eclipse energy, and why the eclipse and the full moon together, why that's intensified. Now, here's the thing I want you guys to hear and really pay attention to. A full moon's always about releasing. All of them are, okay? But an eclipse on top of the full moon, that intensifies whatever it is you're releasing or shifting or changing. Okay, so whatever that focus is for that particular moon, if it's lining up with an eclipse, that's intensifying it, magnifying, okay, the potential there. So an eclipse also is really very much about, you know, moving things on, like finalizing something, like moving on. And if we have been holding on to the threads of something, like, okay, we're almost done with this, but, just, that little bit of hesitation, this just takes it. It's like these big scissors just go wham, and you're done. So the eclipse can just push it to the final and let it be done. Okay? Wanted you guys to hear that. That's not a negative. It can feel kind of like, oh no. If you're holding on and resisting, it can feel that way. But everything that's old and everything that was really is already gone. And what you're ending up with is something that's just falling apart anyway. So you want to pay attention to, like, what's falling apart that you just can't seem to keep together. The eclipse will clarify that and help you just go, this really needs to move on. It's not helping anybody. It's not helping anything. So that's part of it, because we are in a full moon phase here. The angels, when I asked about this, I'm like, man, this can be for people new in spiritual awakening and moving this way in a direction. And we are practicing shifting our focus, because manifesting is faster, and it will continue to increase in speed that way. Practicing and trying to keep our thoughts on what we want to bring into our life versus all the things we don't, because no matter what your focus is on metaphysics and law of attraction terms, whatever you're focusing on is what you will see more of in your life. So practicing, okay, well, we don't want to be focusing on all the fear, right? We don't want to be afraid. Well, of course we don't want to be afraid. That's the whole point. And shifting and practicing that focus to what we do want sometimes is a complete game changer. It's a complete redirection. It's opposite ends of the spectrum. This lunar eclipse full moon is going to flush out some things that you may have been missing, or you felt like, I don't know, I got to make a decision and I'm not sure. This can really help. And you can also find that, wow, I just didn't think I had it in me, but I do. And I can do this. So this particular moon has quite the energy that is worth the effort for the possibilities that will come in. And that's what I really love about it. The other thing is, this is a self-discovery, and also what motivates us. That's one of the big things. That's why I put that out on the graphic that I put out for the show today, because I really love that. He was moving. It was this artistic man running. He's moving. He's flowing. All that energy and color coming off. I could just feel all his energy was moving. I loved that picture. It really inspired me. And it's about what motivates you, what really motivates you. Not doing things because you feel like that's your obligation, not saying be irresponsible, but at the same time, what actually motivates you? What are you excited about? And where do you find and draw from your inner energy? And then you seem to have unlimited energy. That's what you can help fine tune through this full moon eclipse, is what is that? Because what motivates us is some of the most limitless, powerful energy you can tap into. It doesn't wear thin. It doesn't dissipate. It doesn't weaken. It continually refuels itself. Now, why is that? Because that's coming from your soul. And your soul is part of that aspect that is unlimited. There's no, it just keeps going. I mean, if you are truly tapped into things that motivate you, and that you want to do what is motivating you, and you don't want it to necessarily be fear-based. A lot of things have been motivated by fear in the past, but fear is really not a decision to move forward. It's not really a motivation. It's more of a lock and freeze and not grow at all. So it may have looked like it was motivation to do something, but it was more of a freezing and stuck. This is motivation to move forward and press through and move all the boulders out of the way. Move into some areas that you really want to do, but you've been hesitant. And it's pretty strong, because this is setting us up for the second half of the year, because we're right in the middle of the second half. Boy, here we go. Now we're moving. And this will pull the two positive negatives out for you to see. The light, the dark within you. Light, dark, positive, negative. You will see opposites in this because of the way these retrogrades are lining up. We also have Chiron that went retrograde on the 8th. Remember, that one's about the wounded. That's a spiritual deep wound. It's spiritual wounds, spiritual healing. So that one is retrograde right now. So that one's playing. It came in right behind Mercury retrograde, which was on the 7th. We have 5 planets that are retrograde right now. Some of them are lingering for a very long time. But right this month is a powerhouse month of alignment and to move through some obstacles that have been in your way. So I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to keep going into the depth of this full moon, and we're just going to fine tune this a little bit and look for some insights with the angels about where we can move forward and find our freedom by releasing the old that has been really just clinging on. I'm Dr. Jen. You're listening or watching The Jen Royster Show. We'll be right back after the break.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jenn is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JennRoyster.com for more information.
Welcome back to the show. We are talking about the full moon coming up on July 16th. I almost said June. July 16, 2019. And this has got a partial lunar eclipse to it in Capricorn. So let's start breaking it down a little bit about what is going on with this moon, because it's pretty good. So if you're listening to this show, more than likely you are ready to get serious about moving on. I can feel that a little bit. I'm feeling that a little bit myself personally, but it's like, it's just time. And the things that just feel old and outdated in your life, or the things you used to enjoy, you're having to force yourself to enjoy it. You really need to reconsider, does it really need to stay there? And why do you keep clinging on to something, or maybe someone, maybe some situation, I don't know. This goes across the board on anything. Because we had a little bit of the influence for the July and the Cancer energy, that is more relationships, home, things like that. So, you might find a little more emphasis in that. Now, here we go. Let's start this. So, we know the full moon is about releasing and ending something, okay? An eclipse is about bringing closure to that releasing and ending something. Yeah, that's a good thing, right? Sometimes you feel like, when is it ever just going to stop, right? Well, this energy will push that a little bit more for closure, okay? It's asking us to expand, this one in particular, this Capricorn thing here, this eclipse. We need to stretch the limits of our beliefs, our mind, the body, the soul, okay? If you were to expand beyond what you believe you're capable of, that's where you're going to find some answers that have been evading you. Where it's like, I keep trying. Well, you don't want to keep doing the same thing. You'll get the same response or same result. This is asking us, you need to look past that. You need to push beyond that. And this is what I'm talking about with the spiritual yoga or stretching. So you think in physical, you know, we stretch, we work out, we exercise, and the stretching, you know, that brings us more flexibility, that we have more range of motion, and we find that we can do more. Okay, take that analogy and apply it to a spiritual type of situation with stretching here, because that's exactly what's going to benefit you the most through this full moon energy. So when you are putting that intention out, yeah, I'm ready to move on and let this go, you're also looking to find your closure, okay? And I'm going to call this out because this is something that's very common with, if you had a whole life of, you know, stress, tension, just not good relationships or something like that. Sometimes we're so used to all the chaos that when we get rid of the chaos in our life, or we pull ourselves away from it and we just take a different path, part of us, you feel part of you is just now, it's like, oh, it's so calm and so quiet. I'm not used to this. I don't even know how to be when it's all calm, because we're so used to chaos. You might find this little shadow part of you trying to reconnect to the chaos. This is going to call that out. Oh yeah, I know. It's like, what? I know, talk about throw it on the table and call you out on it, right? It will. It'll call you out on that, because it's time to bring closure to that. It's time to stop trying to reconnect those things that take us back into the loop. If you feel like you've been looping, not everybody's going to apply to this, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. For most of us, we've probably tried to do that a couple of times when you're first starting to break away and change and grow and ascend and just restructure your life to be healthier for you, to be more true to yourself. You find that you'll go back and forth a little bit at the beginning because you're still, you know, not sure. But as you keep growing in it, you find less and less you want to do that. So people brand new in this, you're just like, ugh. The spiritual awakening symptoms seem to be escalating a little bit right now because we're releasing so much density. Yes, so much density is just coming up to the surface to be dealt with. So you might have some really strange and unusual physical symptoms you're feeling. You know you're okay. You've had everything checked out. I'm not trying to replace medical here. Please know that. So you just like, why am I having these random, unusual things? If there's absolutely nothing wrong, and you know that for sure, you've had it checked out, maybe energy's releasing, maybe things are coming to the surface to remove. I have been going through some of that too. We all will, because we're all growing and releasing all this dense energy so we can rise up. So this is good. This is good. Now, the eclipse, now once it takes you to this place of, okay, I need to stretch, I need to expand the capacity that my brain can wrap around my mind. I want to just explore, you know, the things you're like, nah, never, forget it. Maybe open up more. Maybe there's an opening to where you had a closed door. That would be stretching and expanding the mind. Physically, yes, you want to do anything that you know intuitively within yourself that you need to be improving for your health care, for you, whether it's eating healthier, resting, meditating. Meditating is really almost not an option at this point. You really need to be doing a little bit each day. It really helps. Drinking your water will help flush the energies as they're moving, because it's just moving. I mean, it's moving whether you want to do this or not. That's what's happening to everybody. I'm talking from a metaphysical perspective here, if you're just tuning in, okay? Some people just don't even want to pay attention to any of this. That's fine. I'm talking from one perspective. This perspective makes the most sense to me, to be honest, because when I look at everything else that has been the way it was, the way it always has been, that is just not working at all for me anymore. So I'm moving on, and I'm sharing what's working, what I feel is working. So you can take it or leave it. Now, you're going to feel like you're going to be, it may feel like you're being stretched to your limits, but that's a belief. That's a belief that you're limited. Because what it wants to show you is that you're not limited. So when you feel like and I really want you to hear that part, when you feel like you've been stretched to your capacity and you're just like, that is it, I am done, I want you to remember what I'm saying right now, and then crack a great big smile and just know, oh, there it is. I can do unlimited. This is just a belief that I had that this was my level to stop. That's what I love about this. And when I saw that, it really made me smile. I went, ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. There's two energies pulling. One's positive, one's negative, and they're kind of opposites here with some of this. So you may feel like you're being pulled in two different directions. And I bet a lot of people can relate to that one immediately when I say that. You will feel a little bit of tug and pull with this because it's showing you, it's kind of like antagonist, that, and it's showing the polarities of opposite ends. And you feel like I have to go this way or this way and I don't know, and you need to make a decision. Well, this eclipse is going to help guide you to that, okay? It will help you. It will help you. So let me go take a moment and see what we got going on. I want to say hello. We had a couple more people come in. So hi, Karen. Good to see you. And Shadana, hello, guys. And let's see, Kim saying, I would love to let go of the chaos, but it lives with me in my home. Okay, a lot of people can relate to that, Kim. And that's a good example of, this is a good example. So Kim, thank you for putting that out there, and I want to use that for a moment because a lot of us can relate. It's like, how am I going to separate when it's right here? Because we believe that we are, even if it's in the same home. Yes, that is more challenging. So Kim, obviously, your soul is stronger than you're giving it credit for, because to have it right within you in the home is challenging. However, it doesn't matter whether it's in your home or on the other side of the street or down in wherever, farther away. We're only being affected by it because we believe that it does. And I wanted to bring that up. And I'm not saying that it's easy to separate from that. I do know that. For you, there's a little bit more of, wow, you went to an advanced workout lesson with this one in spirituality. I get that. And I'm giving you kudos because, Kim, you're not giving up. I know that. I can feel that from you. And at the same time, you're like, man, I'm worn out from this. There's your limit. There's your boundary that you feel. Let this help push you past that, because we want to be able to, no matter what's going on around us, it not affect our inner light. Okay? So, it kind of starts off where we go out and you're just like, everything's great at your home, and then you go out shopping or something and you've come back and you just felt it. A lot of empathic or sensitive people will feel it that way when you're starting. And they're like, wow, I just don't even want to go anywhere anymore. Well, that's not necessarily the right answer either. The strength comes in, and this is stretching us beyond our limits, okay, to expand. No, I don't have to be confined so it doesn't affect me. I just have to not let it, there's these boundaries. It's more of a energy field shielding. It's more of an energy field shielding. So, and this is something where, actually, guys, that's what we're going to do a little bit more of in the angel retreat today at 1 o'clock, the Zoom call. So we want to work with the energy field readings and how to strengthen that up. So if you can't make it there, we can do something for you. It'll be in replay, but so if you're in that, you can put that over there. So, and she's saying, yes, I'm worn out, but want to keep my spirits high and develop more. Absolutely. And that's the stamina coming from the depth of you. No matter what, you're going to persevere and find your way through it. This energy helps push that along. So in this particular case, it's not, okay, it's in my house. Here we go. Here it is. It's right with me in my area. That is where we go inward. We strengthen those boundaries. And it's not, those boundaries are more to keep the good stuff in, okay, and it not get drained out and leaked out, versus we're trying to protect ourselves from bad stuff everywhere. There's different aspects to your field, your shielding. And one of them is keeping your light bright and strong and it not wane and it not wear out from an outside influence. So that would be a big key for you, Kim, in this one. And I know it's a constant practice, but it's like whatever happens. And sometimes we just feel like, oh, okay, I'll get to it. And we find that these little things here and these little things there just slowly trickle us away from what we know we need to do for our self-care. This is going to call you out like anybody. Like what her example is fantastic, what she's experiencing, but I know a lot of us can relate. It's going to call us out to where, okay, we're going to expand and stretch what you believe here. And we're going to show you that once you do that, you're going to find that there is a solution to this. And then what we thought was this mountain of, oh, we can't get past this, it's wearing me down. You're going to turn around and look back, and you're going to realize you were higher up on the mountaintop looking down at this. And you're like, wow, I didn't know I could do that. Oh my gosh. And it's not hurting anybody, but you're going to stay okay. Because, you know, that is how we radiate our light. We want to keep our light shining, because that does put a beacon out there for others when they're ready. Okay, when they're ready. And it's not to go out and fix everybody. It's to make sure we keep from dimming who we are. That's one of the key things that's a lot of light workers, a lot of people that are on the spiritual path are trying to sort out right now. It's like, I'm trying to not dim here. I'm trying to not get discouraged. I feel that my beliefs are challenged right now. I don't know what to think anymore. Well, exactly. That's exactly what's happening, and that's what we need to look at and expand past that. So, yes. So, you know what, Kim? She's saying I shield up. I know that she's saying she shields up every day. I would suggest looking into different ways to do that. And when we go into the angel retreat today, let me make a note of that, because that was part of what I'm going to talk about. So it's going to be in that replay if you can't be with us. Hopefully you can, because that'll be a good one today, because we really need that today. So you see, I'm going deep with this because it's really when we're trying to stretch beyond what we believe we could do, our capabilities, that's exactly what we're talking about here. We have to go past that limit right now. That's where this eclipse, this energy is going to go, oh, guess what? You can go a little more. And you're like, no, I can't. Yes, you can. Boom, there you go. And then you're going to go, oh my gosh, I wouldn't have done that. But now I am here. And you look back and you see that. So that's part of it, okay? Now it's a let go, it's a release, it's a closure. Remember that. So Capricorn, see, Capricorn and Kim, I want to let you hear this, please. And everybody feeling that kind of worn down, constant day in, day out energy drain. The Capricorn eclipse here, it will help show you and remind you how strong you really are. That's this thing, okay? It takes us there and shows us capabilities that we forgot about or didn't believe in within ourselves. And that's key to finding ways past obstacles that have just been holding things up. Is it comes from inside. We have to go there. And I've never found anything outside myself to get me past those kinds of challenges. So this one is good for that, okay? Now this is also, I did want you to know this. This is where the motivation comes in. Like, what's your motivation for doing what you do now? Do you have motivation, or are you just dragging through it? The motivation is an important part of this. When I asked Michael about this, he said the motivation comes from the soul when it's in alignment with, your truest who you are, not the motivation to, okay, this is my This is what somebody else wants me to do. I feel like I should do this. This is where, well, this is what I'm expected to do. Those are responsibilities that we all have, but I wouldn't say that's the motivation I'm talking about here. This motivation is that drive. This is that deep driving. It does not wear out. You just know if you can get to that, you have all the fuel you need to finish, to completely go there. This is the motivation. Like, what's guiding you right now? Like, why do you do what you do? Why aren't you doing what you really want to do? Are you squashing your motivation and not acting on it? This is going to challenge that, because remember, it's going to kind of show you two sides to this. It's going to show you a positive. It's going to show you the challenge. It's going to show you, and then because you can see both aspects, you'll be able to make a better clarity of it. And so know that. It's not all like, oh, I don't want to look at anything dark and negative. It's not going to be like that, but it is going to show you maybe some things that are the procrastination, or you're not believing in yourself. That's where the stretching comes in. Remember the stretching? I know, we're talking about, oh my gosh, how much more can we possibly do? I know, I felt that too. You might find that you need to rest more, because this is a lot of energetic shifting, a lot. You might find, wow, I need more sleep, or I need to eat different, or you need to eat more, or you just need to drink more water, or you need to change up your whole routine. You need to listen to that and do that, okay? Please do that. So I'm going to take a quick break on that note so I can grab a sip of water. When we come back, we're going to keep going. We have a lot. Now, we got one more section after this one, but we have a lot here with this full moon that is very powerful, transformative energy. It's happening whether you want it to or not. So you may as well play along, because it's like riding a horse and going against that. You don't want to do that. You want to go with the flow here. So stay with me. We'll be right back after the break.
Tune in to the Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JennRoyster.com for more information.
welcome back to the show. Okay, this is our last segment, so I want to wrap up a few more things. Michael is the one that will give you some stamina and strength, your guardian angel as well, which is still coming in strong. Did a couple of weeks ago, but guardian angels, we have them for a reason, okay? But this is a no joke training, really. It's like a spiritual fitness program that we feel like we're in. And I give that analogy because it's the one that is the easiest, as far as I'm concerned, to wrap our brains around to help them stretch more. Okay, remember, it's expanding us and showing us the possibilities of what we didn't know we had within ourselves. Some of the best affirmations when you're working with a Capricorn eclipse, hear me out. What is Capricorn? That's going to show you how strong you really are. So what would be an affirmation? I am strong enough to do anything. I'm strong enough. I've got what it takes. You know, those kinds of things. I can do anything. I'm strong enough. I can do anything that comes my way. If you have to repeat that hundreds of times a day, every day, do it. Because it will help remind you that Capricorn's working to show you some strengths you didn't know you had within yourself. If you feel like with the shielding, we are going to go over some of that. I'm going to do that in the angel retreat at 1 o'clock today, 1 o'clock Eastern. This is July 11th if you're listening to a replay, by the way. So some more things about this Capricorn. Now, it's going to bring up some questions because it's showing you like two opposite opposing types of things that have power, like which one's pulling more. It's going to help you decipher who's got the power here and where do I want it to be. Okay? That's important, like who, the power play, the power struggle. You're going to see some of that play out, you know, out there on the news a little bit. But you're going to see, it's going to help you question, like, where's my priorities? Maybe I need to change what I thought was a priority and put something else in its place. Maybe I need to shift that up. Maybe I need to triage some of this stuff in my life. Sometimes it's a little tweak here and there. Sometimes it's a lot, depending on how we resist. Okay, it just depends on what's going on for you individually. But here's the thing. You're exactly where you need to be. There's nothing you've done wrong as far as a spiritual awakening. This is all the process of becoming aware in your consciousness at a different level. Because if it was just this easy road, oh, just tell me what to do and I've got this. No. It doesn't work that way. You've got to go inside and trust that. That's where you find insurmountable power that will never wear out. You will always have enough energy to do whatever. You want to talk about some motivation? That's motivation. And to know that it came from yourself, wow. Because that's where you need to go with that. Now, it's more about what can we do to work together and find a solution versus fighting against it. Okay, it'll feel like, oh, this is what I want, that's what they want, you know, and harmonies, peaceful solutions, yes, they're possible. Not everybody wants to play, but these forces that feel like they're opposite, that's what's going to pull and stretch you. That's what's going to make you see beyond. So when it looks like, oh no, like what Kim was talking about when she was talking about, you know, what she's living with chaos, talk about a pull stretch situation. That's a good example. So now it's like, okay, how do I apply that? If something you do every day, like she's shielding up every day and it just still feels draining, maybe there's a missing component. Maybe there's something different to do. Maybe it's, do we believe it's working? A lot of this is going to show us in our minds, where are we with this? Do I even believe what I'm doing? Yeah, it's going to do that. But after this tug and pull and stretch and, you know, wow, you know, where are we with this eclipse? You're going to feel better because you're going to go, wow, that was a hard workout. Think about a hard workout. I feel like a hard workout, and then wow, you feel better because you got rid of a lot of stuff that was pent up. That's the one thing about physical exercise. It'll help move energy out. You know, there's lots of different things, whether it's walking or whatever. Meditation does too, but physical exercise is a great way. And it can be gentle, whatever your level is, to move energy that's being trapped, okay? It moves, but mind, body, and soul. It helps process that stuff, okay? So lots and lots of energy here. Do you feel ready for it? Probably not. I know, but guess what? We can change the way we feel about that. We can go, I don't feel ready, but I want to be ready, so I am ready. Go that way. That's what I suggest. So Karen's saying the old has been trying to reattach itself. That's not happening. Good for you, Karen. Yeah, she's pumped up in there. She's like, I will not be defeated. I love that. That's the type of mindset that is like your own personal coach that's lifting you. That also is what Michael always comes across that way to me too, when I feel like I'm being worn out by something that's a challenge. The strength, you know what? It's not like he just comes in and is like, oh, here's some energy. That's not what he does. He comes in, it's like a training coach, like, yes, you can. Get back up. You can do 10 more. I'm like, no, I can't. You know, you feel like that. Yes, you can. He reminds me of exactly what this eclipse is basically going to show all of us. Oh, yes, you can. You just don't know you can. You just don't believe you can. But yes, you can. And he doesn't let me get away with that. I'm glad he doesn't, because I have grown so much because of that. And I'm sharing that with you because I believe that you can too. This energy, yes, we're feeling it. Yes, we are so done. If you're feeling so done, and I wanted to bring that up quickly before we're running out of time. If you're just feeling like, I am so done with this, I'm ready for it to move on. It just feels like it's dragging, because sometimes this energy will make us feel like things are stagnant and not moving. There's something that the stretching for you will reveal to show you, you know what? I was missing that right there. That's it right there. And help you find that way to get it moving again and move on. Because remember, the eclipse helps us find the closure. For some of us, we've done all the steps because we've been working on this gradually. But then there's this little lingering whatever that might not feel like it's a complete closure. Let this help you. Let this help you. Your energy itself, your energy field, your chakras are purging so much right now. I mean, so much that we feel weird physical stuff, or we might have weird dreams, or we might feel our mind is like, I don't know where I'm at with this anymore. You might go back and forth. You might feel up. You might feel down, because there's a lot of calibration to new energy frequencies going on right now. And I don't think anybody's not feeling it. I think it's just a matter of, are you taking it seriously so you can find a smooth transition? Because the more we work with it, the smoother that transition is, because it's all happening to everybody. I truly believe this. You know, if you want to ignore it, okay. Because if you ever notice, you know, people that focus, and this is something to remind you of with manifesting, remember, if you're focusing on everything you don't want, that's what you'll see more of in your life. That's how that works. So you want to switch that. So say the challenge, like, oh, I don't want all that. Yeah, you have to find something. And you know, sometimes we have to put a little effort into that. We have to change it. Like, I can move past this. No, I'm not going to be like that anymore. No, I don't like what I'm seeing right there or feeling, but I'm going to go put my focus on something else. And you just have to just really manually pick yourself up and just say, no, we're not doing it that way anymore. I do that to myself all the time. I still have to do it. It's easier, and I get there quicker because I've been practicing that, and that's why I'm sharing it. If something new to you and you're like, oh, yeah, that's right, you just feel like it's stuck, if we keep approaching it the same way, you get the same result. That is the way that works. So, yeah, I'm putting up my shield, or yeah, I'm trying to move out of this, and it just keeps, you know, not changing. Then we got to change how we're shielding up, or we've got to change how we're approaching it, or we've got to change how we're spending so much time focusing on it. There's lots of different aspects here. And we just have to throw it up in the air and go, you know, I got to redo this. Throw that jigsaw puzzle up in the air and start all over, because this isn't giving me what I want. I'm not getting past this part. So you got to change it. You got to change it up. Biggest thing right here is it's going to help show you that, and the stretching and the opposites that you might be feeling in your own personal challenges or life. That's going to show a clarity like, oh, that, yeah, that's like opposite. You know, you're going to feel this inner, I don't know. Yeah, pay attention to that. And as soon as you feel like I am so done, I don't want to stretch anymore, I need a break. This is where this might say, no, not quite yet. Need 5 more minutes here. I know, go with the flow best you can. Take good care of yourself. Know that it will be worth it to see where it wants to show you some things that you were missing. And they're on the other side of that comfort zone. So right now we want to go with this flow to bust through some of the things that have just been holding us back. That's just how this is working. I know. I want to say, oh, we got a few more people showed up. I want to say hi, Marilyn and Jody. Good to see you guys. Well, thank goodness they're saying they're late. Don't worry, we always have the replays and archives, so that's good there. Karen's like really pumped up. She said, it took a long time, but I dumped a lot of negativity and new is moving in. Yes, she's being very inspirational over there, and I appreciate you sharing that. For anyone that just feels like, oh, I'm so done, this is where it's going to go. This is where it's going to tell you, remember, not quite. He was like, I'm done. No, not quite. Almost. Not quite. And the universe is like, let me show you a couple things. And let me expand your mind. Let me expand your potential. Let me show you where some motivation is that you want and you're desperately seeking. Motivation. Motivation is there. Let it show you motivation to make those changes that you need. Okay? What motivates you now? What's not motivating you? What's, causing the stress? And even though we're going through these kind of things that are changing us, they're positive, it can feel overwhelming at times. Take that as part of the growth part of it. Do what you've got to do to take good care of yourself. I know that you all are feeling so much. I'm here for you. Guys, we're going to take this a little bit deeper, working with the energy fields and the chakra balancing, about this whole energy and what's happening. We're going to do that in the angel retreat today, and it's in 1 hour. It's 1 o'clock Eastern. If you are a member, you can join us over there. If you want to join, I have the links up right there, right at the homepage, or right on the, there's a link on the YouTube there, right there too. But it's right there, right on the front page. You can find the angel retreat if you want to join us. I want to say thank you to everyone that has been here, that has showed up, that is actually working on their spiritual growth. I want to say thank you to you for working so hard, not giving up on keeping your light bright and shining in the world. Thank you for being with me, and we walk this journey together and we share with one another. I appreciate you, because I don't want to feel by myself trying to keep my light shining too. But the more we do that individually, the more this world is changing into an amazing place. Okay? So thank you guys so much for being here. We're out of time. I will see you next time on the Jen Royster Show. Namaste.
You've been listening to the Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life. Remember to tune in each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern Time on transformationtalkradio.com. Dr. Jen Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. If you've missed any part of this show or any other show, visit www.JennRoyster.com and transformationtalkradio.com.